Look, man, welcome back, man. Welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate this. Is a happy video. Happy video. You will say big money day in reggae boy football. As you say, look, J.Calvin seems like he's on his way. Yeah, according to one of a credible other YouTuber that who done a video earlier. Pick up the Bomb Sports that done the video about J.Calvin, about Trivante Stewart. Record breaking fee, smash the club record. Yeah, two clubs were involved in a deal. Radnikin is the club from Serbia with another club in Israel, Maccabi Haifa. Two top teams in their own respective way. But again, the team in Israel that Trivante Stewart is going to, it's a top club. They have involved over 10 league titles in their history of that club. And I must say, this was something that was on the card. This was on the card because and I did my research and said, look, the top 10 goal scorer, at the end of each season in the Serbian top flight, more likely, a lot of them go on to go to a better club. You see that they move up from a smaller team in the Serbian Super League, move up to one of those top team, like these are going to go to Partizan or one of those other team. But again, is it that they're going to go to a neighboring country or Israel, France, Netherlands? There's always a top striker on the move in Serbia. And you must say, look, Trivante Stewart found himself in a very unique situation where, look, he went through the entire season without scratch-free, no injury, where he can play almost 40 games in our competition and score 16 goals in our competition as well. So, I mean, he did what he needs to do. And I'm going to say this, Trivante Stewart is the only player in the top 10 leaderboard table, top 10 goal scorer in last season after Serbian Super League, that his team was fighting for relegation. Every other player in that top 10, in the top goal scoring chart, in the top 10 goal scoring chart in the Serbian Super League, those players played for some of the top clubs that were fighting for a spot in Europe and also fighting for league titles. So Trivante Stewart, he done a remarkable job. If you ask me, I don't know how he did it. You understand? If you ask me again, how did Ronaldo Sifas did what he did for Ankara Gucu in the second tier of Turkish football, where his club got relegated, scored so many goals, still managed to put in more consistent performances on the pitch. And Trivante Stewart done exactly the same thing. So I must give Trivante Stewart a lot of credit. And guess what? Now the work start. Because you are going into a team that the demand will be very high. The fans will demand a lot from their players. And I must say, the top goal scorer for this team last season managed to finish on 17 goals in all competition. He is a right winger, Trivante Stewart. Can he go in a better team in a would you say the Israel Premier League is better than the Serbian Super League? I'm not sure, but it's somewhere around the same bracket of in terms of their rankings. I'm going to do my research, and probably if I can get it, I put it up on the screen. But look, it's not far. Both leagues are not far from each other. But if you look at the teams, one team, the previous team that he was playing for, was fighting for relegation. The team that he's going to are transferred to at this moment, done medical, everything transferred, everything sealed. He is a Maccabi Haifa player, so the deal is done. So if you look at them, between Radnikin and his previous club, the team in Israel is much a high quality team that over the years, over the last even 10 years and go back, they have always fighting for a spot in Europe. Is it that they're going to go straight into the group stage? Are they going to play some qualification? And just like they did last season, played in the conference qualification on trying to get into the group stage. Did it get into the group stage? But at least this is a club that every season they fight for league titles, they fight for cups, and they fight for a European spot. And guess what? This is one of the better clubs in Israel. Yes, this is one of the better clubs in Israel. And you will say more eyes will be on Trivante Stewart. More eyes will be on Trivante Stewart. And with just 1 year, I think 1 year left back on his contract at Radnikin, and they signed him from Jova, a club that he was playing for, the team that he left to go to Serbian Super League to play for. The team goes by, I think, Jova from Salernitana. Radnikin bought him for 80,000 euros. a year or two later, they managed to sold him in a record-breaking transfer deal for the football club. Yeah, and it's 1.5 euros, and that's why I'm saying, is Mount Pleasant have some shares, have some percentage to get from this deal, at least 1.5%. I would say probably the max you can really negotiate in terms of sell-on clause for the previous clubs. I understand the previous club, they sold him on. It would probably be the deal that he moved from Jovar to Radnikinis, where they bought him for 80. But I mean, let's see what's going to happen. But I would love to know if Mount Pleasant really have at least around 5% in this. They would probably get a couple €100,000, and that would be beneficial for Mount Pleasant going forward. That would be a little bit of money in the kitty moving forward. So that can translate into a whole lot of different things, can make Mount Pleasant actually start up a different project and invest in more in the football club. So if this haven't done in a situation like this, then I don't know, moving forward they should always making sure that, look, they as the parent club that did own the player before he moved to Europe, at least you have a contract where every deal that struck with the player, you get at least around 5% of that transfer fee. You understand? It's happened around the world in football. So I don't know if Mount Pleasant will get, as I said, but look, massive one for Trivante Stewart. But what will happen in the season coming up? Their qualification round in the Conference League, it will start next week. They're hoping to play a team from, I think, North Macedonia, a team from North Macedonia and a team from Belarus. So they're waiting which other team they will play, and the results will come in this Thursday coming up. So after the games finish on Thursday, in a few days from now, they will really find out which team they will play in the second round of the qualification of the Conference League. But I don't know if he will take part in that game as well. But looking at it, their league campaign start next month. I think the end of next month. But currently, their state competition, their state cup is coming up, where every team in that country will bracket off in terms of state and in region where they will play each other. It's something like what happened not in South America, but in Brazil, where the Brazilian teams played like a state cup before they go into the Brasileiro. So lots of football, for Trivante Stewart. But playing in a better team, will it make him better? This is Trivante Stewart opportunity, and I must say, look, his salary, it's a fat paycheck for Trivante Stewart. It's payday for him at this moment at this club, and it's you would say Israel is one of those national team that who is looking to go to that next level. The league is looking to go to that next level, but again, 400,000 euros a year, that's roughly between 7 to 10 grand. That's roughly around 7 to 10 grand euros a week, that you would say running up to 40,000 euro per month. That would probably be Trivante Stewart's salary, between 30 and 40,000 euros per month, roughly around 7 to 10,000 euros he will be getting weekly, whichever way the team pay their footballer. But again, these are the stuff that you want to see happen. These are the stuff that you want to see, especially players from the Jamaican Premier League getting their big money move. And let's see what if he can take advantage of this opportunity. What will happen in a year or two from now if he continue on the same goal scoring spree that he is on at this moment? If he can manage to go on and score 40 goals in the next 2 seasons, look, Scandinavia are somewhere close to the elite European competition. Those elite clubs in probably the top 6, top 5, top 7 teams will be looking at this player like, can this player fit in our project? These are the barriers that Trivante Stewart need to break down and need to remove from his roadblock. But again, make sure the player have to put in the work. The player know that, look, fitness is everything. Discipline is everything. Be the best version of yourself is everything. You understand? Don't just do it for yourself. do it for the younger lads that's coming up in Jamaica. You understand? The younger Premier League players that's looking for big money move, because it was eye-opening for him to really get that big money move to go to Salernitana in Italy as well. It was a huge jump at that time. It was a huge jump, and many people know about Trivante Stewart and know about football. That look, he wasn't on that level, so he went down to a further tier in Europe, go to Serbia, where he get game time, where they will help his development, and technically they will help him. He's a powerful striker, and look, when you use a number 9 like that, clubs will always want your service. So the demand for strikers is very high at this moment. As soon as you start to score and put the ball in the back of the net, you're hitting anywhere over 15 goals per season. Clubs will be rushing for your signature. And to see the football club that he was coming from turning down deals between 500,000, 700,000, yeah, when they bought him for 80, that's a big that was that. Even if they accept that, that's what I be as a big step up in terms of profit. Look at now, they managed to get in a record breaking fee 1.5 million euros when they just bought him for 80,000 from Jovar, what you pronounce that name, you understand? So big up the Radnick, the coaching staff, the coach, everybody, the owners, the players that he played with to help to contribute to this success for Trivante Stewart can go ahead and play in a better top tier team where you'll be fighting for league titles, fighting for cup competition, and fighting for European spots. This is a different level of experience for Trivante. So again, hopefully the player can be healthy going forward, and hopefully he can be at his best and be more clinical and score some goals. And then from there, you never know, you can become the top striker for the Jamaican national team. And again, these are the stuff that, again, Jalmara Calvin, big money, I want to say big money because I don't know anything about this deal. I saw this deal and just by watching, BAM Sports, you understand? And before I'm going further, I was doing some little bit of research on Trivante Stewart. I was like, why nothing come out of the dark yet for anything that is happening with Trivante Stewart? And then boom, I went online and I saw that, look, a deal struck for Trivante Stewart. But John Mara Calvin, Cavalier Football Club, and Rudolph Speed hit the nail. Seems like he hit the nail again on the head. According to what BAM Sports has said in a video, that the player, medical finish, they're just waiting for the player permit. They don't know, once you are not an English born, you're going to have to, or not, once you are not around the UK region, you're going to need to approve for a work permit. And these are stuff that happen with the best of the best players. So it's not just John Mara Calvin, but again, hopefully the work permit can really resolve. Hopefully them can sort out that issue, and hopefully it can approve. I don't know if it's an issue, but hopefully it can approve as well as quick as possible, so the player can join up with the team and it can make official that John Mara Calvin is a St. Mirren player. But again, you have to give Rudolph Speed a lot of credit in this deal as well, because he helped develop this player that have scored 30 plus goals in 2 seasons in Jamaican Premier League. And I must say, look, I'm a huge fan of John Mara Calvin. Huge fan. 20 plus goals last season in the Jamaican Premier League. You understand? I'm a huge fan. I think he scored like 16 goals last season. So I think over the last 2 seasons, not many players managed to score over, I think, 13 or 16 league goals in the Jamaican Premier League in back-to-back season. Not many players managed to do that as well. But he's a very good player. He has talent, but there's a lot of room and a lot of things they need to work on. But again, going into a team like this, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. My thoughts that Richard King is a lot more way ahead than where John Mara Calvin is at in terms of playing at this level. And I would say I wouldn't be surprised if John Mara Calvin really started out to play in the reserve team, under 23, the reserve Premier League in the Scottish in Scotland as well. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think he needs a little bit more. But again, if he can get it right and work on his weakness, look, this will be a fantastic player for this football club. But again, when I did a little bit of research and tried to find an article that published, I found something, and a few fans made a few comments and said, how good is this player? You understand? What is this player going to do for a football club? You know, how much we can evaluate this player to know if he can make the difference in this team. They are the questioning. These are the stuff that happen in every club team. Fans always speculate about future transfer and the players that especially coming from unknown leagues from that region. You know, so and it's the same thing for Trivante Stewart. Maccabi Afia, you know, those fans will be asking how good is this player, how good, you know, he can make the team, and if he can improve and make the team go one step further than what they did in the last couple of seasons. They will be asking these questions. So these things are just generally, you know, look a question that asked by fans, and they're very curious because they love the football club. They want to see the football club move in the right direction. But again, you have to give Rudolph Speed a lot of credit. You know, I know one time he said, you know, he's not the agent of these players. They have their own individual agent. But again, the development, giving them exposure, giving them the time and the football pitch, believing these players will help their performance on the pitch in terms of for them to, you know, produce the goods and bring up the numbers for Cavalier Football Club, you know, Caribbean Cup champions are the Champions Cup, and also back-to-back champions in the Jamaican Premier League. That says a lot. But J.Calvin is that player. He's quick, he's explosive, he's a little bit technical, but again, I think fitness and a little bit of strength, and then, you know, a little bit of, you know, giving more advanced, you know, training, more advanced in his preparation and how really improve on his game. He will definitely get better over the next years to come if he continue to play at the level of where St. Mirren is at. But again, he's going to a football club where he get the time, and they will take, you know, make sure that they take the time and effort in him and developing and how a player should develop in terms of look at where he's coming from, and then kudos, you know, it will be fair play for J.Calvin to do his best. But yeah, thanks for watching, man. This is Nicardo Media House. I'm out. But again, you have to give Rudolph Speed a lot of credit in this move to get in two players in St. Mirren, waiting for official for J.Calvin. But again, to get both players in one football club in the Scottish Premier League, we will look. These are the stuff that can happen. Like, we can have two Jamaican players. We can have two Jamaican players playing at the Ibrox at one time. Richard King and J.Calvin are two players that, you know, we know he's a Jamaican born player that, you know, used to reside in Antigua, but again, he played for Jamaica in a friendly game. But you can have two reggae boy players, that playing at the same time at the Ibrox, can be playing, at Celtic Park versus Celtic, or Ibrox at Rangers Football Club. These are the stuff that can really happen. You have players that can go at Aberdeen Football Club playing on those historic team, historic football pitch, a team that, once Alex Ferguson was coming. And so historically there's a lot of stuff can happen, and it's just really good to see that players getting the move, players are getting top move. And look, if you don't see that things are up and the up more than things are going down, you need to go and see your doctor to get eyeglass. But the reggae boy players, things are moving up into a standard where players are getting more and more opportunities, but especially from the Jamaican Premier League. But that's it, people. I'm out. See you guys tomorrow for the Morning Insider Extra. Thanks for watching. On your way out, like up the video, comment, and tell me what you think about the big money move for Trivante Stewart, and also the one that is spending J.Calvin, where fans is still questioning how good is this player because they don't know him. But yeah, thanks for watching. This is Nicardo Media House. I'm out. Ciao.